Now let's look at solving it algebraically, which means going through the equations. So I have my system of equations here, my linear one on top, my quadratic one on the bottom. Okay, and these are the steps I'm going to follow. I'm going to use the process of substitution. This is a process we learned with linear equations, and it still works for linear quadratic equations. The top equation tells me that y is equal to 2x plus 1. Y equals 2x plus 1. I want to know when their y's are the same. Okay, so that means if y equals 2x plus 1 up here, this y needs to equal 2x plus 1 as well. So I'm going to take that 2x plus 1 and I'm going to substitute it in right here, plug it in. So that's going to be a 2x plus 1 instead of y. So I took what this y equals and put it right here, 2x plus 1. Equals, and then I'm going to write the rest of my equation. X squared minus 5x plus 7. Okay? In order to solve this, if I look at it, I have a quadratic that I can solve that we've learned to solve before. So I need to get it equal to 0. That would be step 2. Okay? So I need to do the inverse operations. Minus 2x. Make sure you line it up with the like term, x and x. And minus 1. Okay? What do you get when it's equal to 0? This side becomes 0 equals x squared. And then negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7x. 7 minus 1 is plus 6. Okay, there's two different methods to do our third step, solve for x. We could factor or use quadratic formula. You decide, okay? Sometimes factoring is easier, sometimes quadratic formula is best. So either one. I'm going to show you both here so that you have a reminder of each one. So factoring, I'm going to go this way. Okay, this is factoring. I would take my x squared minus 7x plus 6, set up my parentheses. Okay, split up my x term. Now, what multiplies to 6 and adds to negative 7? I need these two numbers here. Okay, if I think about what multiplies to 6, that is a 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. 1 and 6 can get me 7. If I need negative, I need to think I need two negatives to multiply to be positive. Okay, so negative 1 and negative 6 multiplies to be 6 but adds to be negative 7. Okay, that's equal to 0, so now I need my solutions. X minus 1 equals 0 gives me a solution of 1. X minus 6 equals 0 gives me a solution of 6. Okay, I'm going to step through the quadratic formula. We should get the same answers here. So if I find A, B, and C, A equals 1, B equals negative 7, C equals 6, X equals negative B plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC, all divided by 2A. So I just went through and plugged in my A, B, and C into the quadratic formula there. Okay, I'm going to do my 3 simplifying in the 3 spots. Negative negative 7 gives me that positive 7, plus or minus. Now find your discriminant. What is your discriminant for this problem? Okay, you should get your discriminant as 25. And 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, square root of 25 is 5. So we're about to get our 2 answers here. We need 7 plus 5 and then 7 minus 5, each divided by 2. X equals 7 plus 5 divided by 2. And this gives you 12 divided by 2, which is 6. And x equals 7 minus 5 divided by 2. 7 minus 5 gives you 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Okay? So now you can see it doesn't matter which way you go, you get the same 2 x values. Now remember, we are not solving a quadratic equation. We are solving a system. In our system of equations here, we have 2 equations, which means we have 2 variables that we need. We found x, now we need y. So that is step 4. We use our x values to find our y values, okay? And we have to find a y for each x. So I need to plug in my x to find that y. It does not matter which equation you choose. I would choose the easier one. To me, the easier one is usually the linear one, right? Y equals 2x plus 1. So I'm going to use that equation to plug in my 2x values. So my equation was y equals 2x plus 1. So my first x was a 1, so I'm going to plug it in for the x there. Y equals 2 times, let me use it to stay in green, 2 times 1 plus 1. And that gives me an answer of 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And y equals 2 times 6 plus 1. So I plugged in my first x, and it gave me this answer. Now I plug in my second x, and that gives me the answer of 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Okay, we found two x's. We found their two y's. Now we just need to put our answer together. That is your very last step. Always write your answer as a coordinate point so you have your x and y paired up. Okay? So my first x was a 1, which pairs with a 3. So I will write that as 1, 3. What is your second solution? We did a 6 and a 13. Please make sure you write it as a coordinate point with the parentheses. We have both x's and y's paired up, so we are finished with our problem.